Now let's talk about the fights that are underway. And that is to keep the government running because of the fools who want to shut it down. Are you kidding? Because they want to fund programs for illegal immigrants? I mean, what is going on here?
It's going to be hard for them to do that. It's going to be very difficult for them to do that in the midst of this historic tax cut. I mean, everybody
How can they even say that with a straight face?
Well, exactly. It's going to be hard for them to do that. And we certainly hope that there won't be partisan, petty politics getting in the way of us fully funding our military and other important programs and obligations. So again, the CR comes next. We're confident that we can keep the government running, as you said in your opening statements. But I can't imagine in a year that has been marked with petty partisan politics, obstruction, resistance, no, collusion, delusions, and the rest, that the capper for the losing team is going to be shutting down the government, and they would be to blame for that. There's no question. Everybody saw today what happens when a president of action and resolve and delivery works with members of his party in both chambers, the House and Senate.
And what is this about the president, his chief of staff, John Kelly, meeting privately with a group of senators who include some of the most marginal senators? They hold no official status, and they are talking about DACA as if they are extending, prepared to extend amnesty to what would be somewhere around as many as 5 million by some estimates. I mean, that must be surely misreported.
General Kelly's doing an amazing job here. He's a fabulous leader.
You don't have to convince me. I think he's doing an amazing job.
He is.
So stipulated. But that
remember,
isn't what I asked.
We're already working on 2018 here at the White House in 2017.
That's why I thought I'd bring
and
it
that
up.
includes the president put forth a very bold, very robust 70-point immigration plan. It includes many things. DACA is part of that. The wall is a part of it.
Amnesty is part of that?
Thousands more.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. Because we know one thing from history. Every president who has talked amnesty before securing border security has lived through the consequences to his regret. Surely this administration would not proffer such a thing.
This is not every president. This is a unique president who, by the way, took the issues of immigration and trade.
I think I'm quite aware of the order of the presidencies. I am asking you a question as straightforwardly as it can be asked.
Which is?
Which is very simply, he wouldn't make the mistakes of the past and try to put amnesty ahead of border security, would he?
No, I'm going to say no to that, because this president ran on border security, governs on border security. Once that wall built, he has said it time and again. It's never wavered. And more to the point, read the full 70-point plan. I commend your viewers
are you
to do
suggesting
that.
I didn't?
I know you have. You've memorized
you're the most
it, and I bet your viewers have.
Friend I have.
I even know how to spell that.
In the White House. I mean, my goodness, sometimes you pick fights.
No, I'm not picking a fight.
Which part of the 70-point plan would you like to examine in detail?
I'd like America to realize that it is the wall, it's border security, but it's also equipping our brave men and women at the border with the resources they need.
Which of the 8 prototypes do you favor for construction immediately?
I favor building that wall. But look, the ICE agents, the merit-based system, the end-to-chain migration, this is all Donald Trump's vision on immigration.
Music to the ears of every American who loves this country.
Absolutely. The president talked about in the cabinet meeting today in front of the press pool. It was public information. No more visa lottery stuff, no more chain migration. That all ends. So it's a big, robust plan, and 2018 is around the corner, as is that.